collapsing as you exhale. Start to monitor your breath now, pranayama. Breathe in quietly but full. Breathe out quietly and empty out. And I mean quietly as if you were whispering a secret to yourself, but allow the breath to fill you up. Allow the breath to empty you out. Now try to keep the tenure of this breath, the duration of this breath, even. So if you're breathing in at about 6 or 7 seconds, you're also breathing out equally for about 6 or 7 seconds. And I want you to do this until it no longer becomes a chore, until it no longer becomes work, until it just happens organically. I'm impressed. Just bigger is not always better. I think that's the American way, but America's changing. And because of moments like this, we can get people from different walks of life to sit down and look at something and get the perspectives and realize no matter what differences people may try to point out between us to keep us divided, we still all want to be amazed and see wonderful, beautiful things and have our minds changed.
So it's actually kind of unromantic. I did it just because of money. Just because I saw an article about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was about a couple who lived out in Portland, Oregon, and they did the math and realized that in 10 years of living together and renting, they had spent $60,000 in rent. Nobody does that math, so I had that moment where I was like, wow, how much have I spent, you know? And so I did the math and I realized that even in 2 years living in cheap graduate school apartment in Medford, I'd spent $16,000. And my house here, I only paid for the materials because I did all of the labor myself with my community. And so my house cost me $30,000. So that's roughly 4 years of rent. And so I figured if I could put that up front and then live in a place with family or with community where I could just park my house for free, which is what I've managed to do, then it would be a much more affordable way to create a lifestyle for myself.
When's the last time you were so close to nature that right outside your house you had a bird house where birds could come and sit and eat and do whatever they want to do, and it's right literally outside your door. Miranda's clothes, which is kind of like a rug.
That was dope.
In her house, which is, oh, this is my 5th grade, this is from when I was 12, and this is when I was from 3 years old, and it's just all this material which has been pressed into some form of living art. And I call it living art because it's connected to memories. It's attached to things that have emotional anchors.
So the house is 8 feet wide and 20 feet long. It's 13 feet tall from the bottom. So the trailer is about 1.5 feet, which means it's about 11.5 feet inside. So under here, I'm about 5.5 feet, so it's a little over 6 feet under the loft, and then above the loft it's about 3 feet 3 inches up there. But then in this big space here, the reason it feels so big is that that's actually an 11-foot ceiling in the peak.
All of us, which is amazing, are involved in this program brought to you by Accelerate Boston. And I remember first starting in that group and feeling like I didn't belong because I'm just a brother from the hood that doesn't really know nothing about running a business, a legal business. And I'm selling a product that's unheard of in our neck of the woods. But then sitting down with the cohorts and the other members of the team and listening to their stories and realizing some of these people are just as lost as I am, right? And then finding out that there's a lot, as everyone would tell their story and what their future goals were, Lauren and I were able to sit and say, we can work with this person, we can work with that person. And right as we started to formulate, we can work with Miranda, she just literally walked up to us, it's like, hey guys, I got something going on.
So on May 20th, Miranda's Hearth is hosting Ignite. It's our 3rd conference, but the first time we're ever hosting this specific one, which is about a conference for creative community builders. And the goal is to gather people from all disciplines for a single day to talk about how and why we build community in contemporary society.
In our particular experience, in my particular experience, and something that I share with Mike, we're people who grow up in urban area. We suffer from a lot of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, other traumas, other things that happen to us. And we kind of wear these chests of armor and other battle gear to be able to go out into that environment. Yoga helps us to breathe. It helps us to do all the things that I said earlier, but it helps us to be free with who we are and share that freedom with other people.
We've got a lot more speakers, and it's going to be a really great day talking about how we do this and why we do this and why it's important, both to society at large, but to each of us as individuals, about building community through creativity.
Come out and see local art by local artisans. We are local artisans. We push yoga, and we're part of Miranda's project in this Ignite event, and we want to help change the ideas and the hearts and minds of the people that come.
Tickets are online at mirandashearth.com/ignite. So get them now, fill up the room, and help us bring lots of people to come together to talk about community.
I'm just excited, very excited about the whole experience.